This man reigns from Akron, Ohio, the red line of the auction business, Conky's Flippin Adventures. Conky. Oh, man.
Hey.
All right, this man needs no introduction, but they're paying me to do this, so the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. What the Hales, Jeremy! Dun, dun.
I'm here. Look at that. It's real. It's not just the word.
And from out west, Sandusky, Lorain, Ohio, some people call him Guapo with a capital G. What?
Oh, sorry. Am I live? Hello, everybody. How are we doing tonight? I'm sure everyone will be joining me shortly. Hopefully, I don't know how the connection will be. I'm in Dallas, Texas. That's right, Dallas, Texas. I'm hoping everyone's having a great night. Thank you for joining me. Hello. We got Vicky, we got Kimberly, we got Elizabeth, Alan, Karen, Belinda, Vicky, Darlene, Sapphire. We got Gail, Belinda, we got Lenny, we got Ann, Francois. I like that one, Francois. Direxy, Gail. I don't know. We got all kind of people. I appreciate you guys all coming in. I'm just sent the link out. People were like, why are you in Dallas? I don't know if you guys know much about the YouTube world. Today, I've been in Dallas with Mr. Guapo for, it's called VidSummit. VidSummit, Mr. Hales, he went to VidSummit last year as a volunteer. Hey, Mr. Hales, speaking of which, you just always know the right time to pop in.
I got my cue.
You're unbelievable. So he went to VidSummit last year, but he went as a volunteer and not an attendee. This year, I went as an attendee and not a volunteer. So I don't even know where to start.
Is it over yet?
It's over, and I was very, very excited because I got to see Conky. Oh, there he is. No.
Oh, hey.
No, I was very excited, and I left very angry. Do you want me to touch on that?
Well, I'm going to say that Guapo is part of the anger.
No, Guapo's on an airplane. Guapo's on an airplane. That's why he's not with me right now.
Oh, Guapo is?
He already flew out. He said, here's the card. Return it.
Is it over? I thought there was one more day.
No, it is over. It was basically Tuesday was not, you don't really need to come on Tuesday. Wednesday and Thursday was the meat and potatoes, and then ended this evening. And you know some guy named Daryl?
Yes, Daryl Eves.
I know two guys named Daryl.
Okay, so Daryl Eves. The community out there, I want every single one of you to write Daryl Eves, okay? And this is what I want you to write. They're giving away all this stuff at the end. The MC of ceremonies, Daryl hands it over because he was handing out stuff. He goes, here, MCs, you guys hand out all this stuff. Now, a lot of people don't know this. Today is my son's 13th birthday. I missed my son's first birthday in my life to come to VidSummit because I'm trying to obviously better myself. And if I better myself, I can better my family, correct?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So they're handing out all these things. There's a PlayStation 5. I tried to get, couldn't get a chance. So the guy comes over by me. He's got an Apple TV. I don't want an Apple TV. I don't really care about Apple TV. I'm just like, hey, it's my son's birthday. Da-da. He goes, well, what I'm going to do is get you a book, How to Be a Good Dad. That is what the guy told. I just spent over $1,000, way more than that. I got a hotel room, rental car, food, $1,000 for the ticket to VidSummit. Come out here to better myself and everything else. I tell the guy, hey, it's my son's birthday. He tells me I'm a bad father for coming to VidSummit. This is the MC of the ceremony. The guy they hired for the last 10 years to be MC told the guy in the audience, he don't even know who I am. I could have been Jeremy Hales. I could be the next Mr. Beast. I could have 10 million subscribers, 100 million subscribers going out there right now and saying, hey, this guy just told me I'm a bad dad for coming to VidSummit. Okay. Now, anybody out there that actually cares, if you guys want to help me out, Send Daryl. He's the head guy for what? What is he a head guy of? He's like YouTube or something?
No, he has nothing to do with leadership in YouTube. He claims himself as a guru of YouTube, and
Is that why he wants to charge you $15,000 for a class?
Yes. So then he charges you $15,000 to teach you YouTube, or you could just ask me and I'll tell you for free. But then again,
why did I give you that $100 then?
You know, so he runs VidSummit instead of VidCon. So VidCon is where like the place to go, and he started another conference called VidSummit, which is not VidCon or the size and scope of VidCon. But then Mr. Beast early on jumped in and said, hey, I want to be a part of this. And when we went, Mr. Beast and Jimmy were, he was supposed to be on the stage for this, on the stage for this. It was all no-shows. Now, I understand being busy, but if you're promoting an event with a person's name and notoriety, which you are, that's like saying, okay, well, Jeremy Hales is going to have $500,000 Time to Grill event. Everybody pay, come. Oh, wait, Jeremy and George aren't there. It's absolutely insanity. And George and I spent over $5,000 just to volunteer to work for free over 12 to 16 hours, sometimes even more than 16 hours a day during the event. And we left going, we would never do that again. The value was just not there. And for us, that doesn't mean it's not there for other people. People will find value in different things. So for us, we went, okay, there was nothing really here that was going to help us do better at YouTube. I mean, you got to have a compelling story, and there you have it. That's how people consume content. Where we went, well, our channel isn't about a compelling story. Our channel is about our life. And if people want to watch, that's great. And if they don't, that's great. And really, it's a scrapbook of our lives for ourselves. So,
and I can say, being a first-time attendee and going to the summit, obviously I've worked with Mr. Hales for years, and I've known Jeremy. He's helped guide me. He's the one why I'm a YouTuber. So there was definitely, the thing is that the world's changing really quick, and this AI stuff is really, I mean, what people are doing with it as content creators, I mean, there's some unbelievable things going on, unbelievable things. And I don't want to go into it all right now. I'm going to talk to Jeremy and Conky to kind of get them, share the knowledge that I've learned through the thing. But, there's you can get anything. You can always get something out of everything, like Jeremy said. But was it worth all the time, effort, and energy to be called a bad father? I don't know.
Did you at least get fed every time there was a meal that you were supposed to get fed?
Yes.
Okay, that's good, because they couldn't even do that for the paid customers last year.
More importantly, did your son get to eat every meal that he needed to eat while you were gone?
I sure hope so.
Well,
that's my wife.
If he did, I mean, you're a great dad. I mean,
thanks, Conky. Now, you guys know, obviously, I try to be a good father, and you know what? I'm going to show you what I did for my son for his birthday. Okay, you guys can tell me. This is unselfishness, whatever, however you want to look at it. I'm not trying to blow my own horn here. Let me see if I can find it.
Just let me say this about that while you're doing that.
Yes, please.
That guy didn't know you from Adam. The people who know you know you're a good dad. So just, don't let what this bozo said bother you too much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it didn't really. It's just that in front of 1,000 people telling someone they're a bad father, when you don't know, ask from Adam. Sorry for my language, ladies and gentlemen, but kind of thing. So this is what I did for my son. I want to show you guys real quick.
Hey, Preston, how you doing? My son is turning 13 years old, and first he says, if you see Preston, can you say happy birthday? So my son's name is Bond. If you just shout out her name real quick. What's his name? Bond. Bond? Yes. Hello, Bond. Number.
So I did that, and then I asked him, what would you tell a 13-year-old Preston plays? If you guys don't know Preston, he's was a gaming YouTuber guy. I'm not big into YouTube. I don't watch a lot of YouTube. My son likes this guy a lot, and he's a good Christian. He's a good guy, actually. The stuff I saw and read about him, heard about him. So, when someone's out there and wants to do positive in the world and everything else, and my son's watching, I can't go wrong with that. He's not watching some of these idiots out. There's a lot of bad YouTubers.
There are a lot of great ones as well.
Yeah, and a lot of great ones. And this guy seems to be, I don't know anything from him. From what he said and talking and from my son's videos that he watched, he seemed like a really good guy. And my son was thrilled. I mean, just imagine when you were 13 years old, Conky, I don't know who you idolized. Was it a sports athlete or a musician or whoever else? Or Jeremy, when you were 13-year-old, I don't know who you, I know you like Guns N' Roses and things like that. But if your father had Axl Rose say, hey, Jeremy, you know what I'm saying? Or something like, but whatever, this guy, obviously my son has up on a pedestal, and they have that. So I went on my way to make sure to get that for my son. I tried to get Mr. Beast. I couldn't get Mr. Beast. I got a couple other people, but I don't know if my son knows who they are. So
Jimmy usually has security with him, which we understand. I mean, we have to have security at a certain time. Like we'll have, you guys know we have security at Half Meal Time to Grill. We'll have security at our upcoming community sale, but we hire security on as needed basis. And typically Jimmy, I believe, has it 24/7. And there has been a time where I've had it 24/7 as well for a stint of months, but generally it's pretty tough to access somebody.
Well, thank you very much, Darlene. I really do appreciate that. It's just, when someone, I shouldn't let things get to me, but it's just like one of those things. It's like this whole event, you build up to this whole thing, and it's like the very final thing. And then to leave on such a negative note, especially from a guy that gets paid to be the MC, a master of ceremonies. The only thing you're supposed to do is hype the crowd, get the crowd going. I know, because I had to do master ceremony type things before. As an auctioneer, you're an MC.
You are an MC as an auctioneer.
I've done charity auctions before. You're hyping the crowd. Your goal is to make everyone feeling great and get everyone excited, not to sit there and, hey, I want to attack this guy at the end. So, and I'm not, I shouldn't take it personally or anything else. I just think it was such an unprofessional thing that someone would do at such a professional conference with all these great people there, great minds. I mean, I'm talking to one guy, 5 million subscribers. This guy, 2 million subscribers. This person's just starting a channel and wants to travel across the United States. This person does trumpet lessons. Okay. I mean, the gambit is crazy of the content on YouTube, as people know. But I mean, anything you can want, there's someone out there making content. Now, whether it's good content or not, well, that's always debatable. But there's somebody out there making whatever content, whatever you could find on YouTube, right?
Well, and whether it's good content or not is all based on the consumer or whoever is watching it. So one thing that appeals to me is not going to appeal to you. Something that appeals to Conky probably is not going to appeal to me. We all have different things that we like to watch.
True.
And generally speaking, none of us have time to actually watch any of it because we're creating it.
Yeah, the best is like, well, how many hours do you work a week? I'm like, which job? Which job
are there in a week?
All of them.
Well, they had the one guy there, and he was probably one of my favorite speakers. I'm trying to think. His name's Tom. He came up with some kind of like protein bar, energy bar. Long story short, the guy, he sold his one company for over $1 billion. He's very successful. Has another company right now. His wife and him were up there, but he just came out and said, "You know what the problem is? You're the effing problem." That's what he told everyone. He said, "You, nothing else." Nothing else, and everyone that's listening tonight,
exactly.
Nothing else is holding you back in life except for you, And there's people be like, "Well, I don't have enough money," or "I'm not talented," or "I'm not this," or that. Those are just fears and excuses of why you're not being.
When you go to a conference like that, it's all these content creators. I'm not monetized yet. I don't have enough subs. I can't. YouTube doesn't like me. You're the problem. Yeah. How many times have we seen other YouTubers create their own problems over and over and over again? And we've had to disassociate from them because of the problems they create.
Well, I mean, to be fair, you could say that another way. How many times have we seen other people create their own problems?
Yes.
Completely, YouTube notwithstanding.
Yeah. But since we're on YouTube and Rob's at a YouTube conference, I mean, it's nonstop.
And a big thing of, and it's the consistency part is, they talked about multiple speakers talked about the consistency part. Also about YouTube, the thing about YouTube is everyone thinks I'm going to be on YouTube and I'm going to be the next Jeremy Hales. Okay. Well, nobody out there except for Conky and me probably that's watching right now know the amount of work, effort, time, and energy that Mr. Hales has put into becoming where he's at today. It didn't happen because he just put some videos on YouTube and it's like, oh yeah, people love Jeremy and George and that's why they're so successful. It's people do love Jeremy and George and that's part of it, but that's not why he's so successful on YouTube. Blood, sweat, and tears he's put in for the last 4 or 5 years.
Well, and I've been very open about this to the point of I work so much to the point that it's been detrimental to my relationship with George as well. I mean, you can go back, you can see that there are times we're not together. And so, and that's okay. It is where it is. I've everybody wants what I have. Nobody wants to put in the work that I've put in. So you don't get what I have. And it seems so silly, the accumulation of stuff. I mean, as I even look at it behind me, the accumulation of stuff is nothing. The properties that I own in multiple states, really that's nothing. What I truly have that's the most valuable is freedom of a schedule. I don't check in with anybody at a certain time and get a paycheck from them. And if I don't work, guess what? I don't get paid. I'm the problem. And so, they haven't made the sacrifices. They haven't taken the risk. I've invested, just with YouTube videos, the viewers have watched me invest. I'm going to guess probably over, I don't have all the math right now, but in all the videos that I've created and living my life, they've watched me invest over $3 million, probably dollars, just to continue to grow business and ultimately have to work harder and be more responsible for more people. For example, you have Flippin Adventures in the chat. I'm now responsible for her. Now, most people would go, well, she's responsible to you. You're her employer. But as her employer, I'm responsible to take care of her, to make sure she gets paid. We have a contract. We have an agreement together. I'm responsible for her safety as she's living in Otter Creek. I have to take that as a serious responsibility and investment into her as well as a person. Most people don't want that responsibility or amount of work that I've had to put in. They just want what I have. And nothing that I have beats the value of freedom of schedule.
Thank you, Darlene. Jeremy's camping video, that's what started it all.
That is. It was.
Is that still up? Did you leave that up or is that gone?
It's still, yes. My very first video is still up.
So guys, go check it out after the live. Go check out What the Hale's first video ever, camping video. How was Texas? Well, it was a good time. Anyone see my short today? I know one person saw it. But if you haven't seen the short, you're never too old to be a cowboy.
Yeah.
I rode the bull, ladies and gentlemen. So I put the short out. And Andrew, he'll have to put his own bull riding thing. But yeah, I beat him.
Who's Andrew? What?
I beat him. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Guapo Legends. Don't call me that. It's Guapo. I'm sorry.
Deanna says, and that's a dangerous responsibility. I'm totally unsupervised right now.
No, she's not. I have security cameras. She's not completely. I can tell you that roughly around 8 o'clock, she walked from the schoolhouse to her house. I watched her and she had a flashlight. So she's not totally. I as much as I possibly can, I make sure that she's okay.
Soup Freak Max, content creation is an effort. My radio days taught me that. And Soup Freak, you're 100% right. I hope you're doing good. I know you had some issues last week. We've been praying for you. But it's one of those things, I mean, it's so easy. It's like watching a TV show or a movie. You watch it, it's like, wow, that was awesome. But how many, I mean, they make a movie, sometimes they put 2-3 years to make this movie that's an hour long or an hour and a half long. people don't realize like the time, energy, and effort, to make a video. Everyone's like, oh, you just film a video and you put it up on YouTube. It's like, we wish it was that easy.
Guys, I just spent the whole day filming for what's going to wind up being 20 minutes of a video.
And then you have people out there who steal your videos and try and make money off of your hard work. And what do we call those people? Thieves.
100% thieves. And
no different than robbing a product off of your shelf. They're stealing your intellectual property, and it is not okay.
And and one thing I thought YouTube would do better at that kind of stuff. Like, there's the AI would be able to pick it up right away and be like, strike it.
Sometimes it takes our AI. It takes our AI sometimes weeks. We've had some where the AI comes a year later and goes, "Oh, we just found this video and we just struck it," and we're like, "Okay,
Remember that happened with my FBI video.
Sometimes it's right on it, and sometimes it takes weeks, sometimes it takes months. And we've had some come in, and we're notified a year later and says, "Hey, we just took this down for you."
Did they take the money that they paid that other creator and take it from them and give it to you, or they just?
I don't know if they do that or not. I don't believe so, but Facebook, I know Facebook does, but I don't believe YouTube does that. YouTube really just kind of boots them off the channel. They take it pretty serious. I mean, it's theft. It's intellectual property theft.
Yeah, and then it's like you can't create your own. I mean, it's just that's how sad it is. Like people are like, well, this person's famous, so let me just copy their videos and put them up, and I'll make money off of it. And it's just how sad and pathetic that is.
Sure.
And then someone actually would think, oh, that should be okay.
There are
go ahead, Conks.
settings when you upload a video that you have to uncheck if you don't want people to do that.
Correct. In all of our videos, they are not allowed to use anything in our videos whatsoever. So
Correct.
we have all of our settings that way. And that's why the AI picks it up and then copyright strikes it and the whole deal.
Yeah, my problem is that they put out my videos and they do better than me. No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. That's my issue. Damn you people. No. But
oh my goodness.
Like the stuff that happened today in Texas. I mean, in the last 2 days, a lot of it's just simple stuff. I mean, thumbnail, title, story, like Jeremy said, all these simple things. The biggest thing is that they said, a lot of people, they spend 10% of their time working on the title and video, and 90% of the time on the video, where you should be spending at least 50% of your time working on thumbnail and title. And a lot of these guys, they come up with the thumbnail before they do the video, which is blowing my mind. But I'm like, that's kind of more difficult for me. For me, the simple fact is that when I'm going through the videos, when I start getting my ideas for the thumbnail.
Well, see, your videos write themselves.
Right.
They're scripting their videos and going, well, this is what we're going to make a video about. Your video is, all right, I bought a storage unit. Let's figure out what the story is. So you have to video to figure out what the story is. They create a story and go, okay, this is what the video is going to be about. You're completely different than they are.
Well,
yeah, that's very true.
You want to know, I probably spent 4 hours earlier in the week making the thumbnail for the one restoration video I'm working on.
Show us the thumbnail, man?
Huh?
You gonna show it to us?
Yeah,
I want to see
it.
Can I show it to you?
Can you share it?
It's not on my phone. Let me see.
I know you can sometimes put it up on the screen.
Yeah, hang on. Let me see.
Someone wants to know where they should send baby pepper gifts.
So if you look at any of our videos or anything on the channel, you'll see the PO box, and that's everything goes to the PO box. Sorry, George and I actually didn't think that we were doing Auctions Anonymous tonight, and so we were out to eat and we rushed home, and we got home just in time. And
did I throw it off for you? Dude, I was rushing here to try to get. Oh, dude, I was rushing here to try to get. I made it here 10 minutes before time. I'm sitting here. I'm like, okay. And then my Wi-Fi wouldn't connect. And then so I had to restart the computer, restart my phone, all this other stuff, blah, blah, blah. And I finally got it cooked up. Then I'm like, I got to download a thumbnail. I got to, change the stuff in the settings. I got to do all this stuff. I'm like a madman, and I got on just in time. So I appreciate you guys coming on with me. I'm sorry I didn't get the link out earlier.
All right, see if you can see this.
I see it.
That's cool, Jamie.
Hold on a second.
Bring it now. Ignore the little thing down below the hit pictogram. But that's the thumbnail. I took that with the DSLR.
What's up with this new logo up there, Conky?
Yeah, that's my Conky's Restorations logo.
I see that.
If Guapo was here, he'd go.
Yeah,
man.
I'll take like 40 pictures to get something that I can make that picture with. I had to amplify all the colors and just really bring out the graininess of the dirt on the truck, and that's what I came up with. Now I have other pictures. This is the working thumbnail that I'm working with right now. But when you do a restoration video, you have to have all that worked out ahead of time, because once you take that thing apart, that's it. You can't go back and decide you want, this or that as a thumbnail, because it's already too late.
Yeah, after you already sandblasted it.
And,
that reminds me of George and I filming today. We were like, we were working on the garage, and I was like, oh no, we already started working on it. I want to do it before and after. We got to put it back the way it was.
Put it back.
We did. I'm like, oh my goodness, I can't believe I did this. That's beautiful, man.
So
I like that picture. That picture makes me want to click Conky. I mean, the other one was good, but that one is way better.
I know. And this one was
it's different vehicles, but
it is different vehicle, and this was done completely differently. Believe it or not, this looks like it's sitting on a shiny table. It's not. That's all background effects that I did.
I'm just saying that picture right there, I mean, it makes me want to click.
But this one isn't coming out because I found out that used to be a tow truck, and I have to actually make the back half of that from scratch. So until I can do that, I'm not going to restore that particular truck.
That's a beautiful picture, though.
But that's going to be the thumbnail of that when I do. I could not get the other one to come out like this doing the thumbnail on that. But the Tonkas I restore after I do this one is going to be like that. That's going to be the type of thumbnail. And
Sweet.
The reason I'm doing this truck, let me bring it back up. This truck here is actually a tire truck. It's a Firestone truck. So the reason I'm doing this one first is because a lot of the what do you call it? The Tonkas and stuff that I'm going to do all need tires, because the tires are either gone or so. This is when I get this done, it's going to have the Firestone sideboards on it. This one is going to bring in the new tires for all the other restorations that I do.
Ah, we got a complaint though, Conky.
What's the complaint?
Well, Conky's wife says she didn't know how loud it was going to be in her house when Conky does his restoration. She's got to get some earplugs. So if anyone wants to send,
just come hang out at Hale's headquarters. It's nice and peaceful and quiet here.
Yeah, except for all the chickens and.
That is true. The rooster never stops. He never stops.
Thank you, Conky's wife. But yeah, so anyone wants to send her some nice earphones, noise canceling headphones, anything like that, send it to Conky's Flippin' Adventures. His stuff's on his channel. You can find where to send some love to Conky's wife, because she's going to need it. Conky over there, restoration, all this stuff. She's not going to get any sleep. So now, one of the things today I want to do a quick little update. Cops called. As you guys know, last week, there was a silent auction that I attended. And it just so happened the best unit that somebody bought that wasn't even at the auction.
A little odd.
Odd.
A little corrupt. And this wasn't even in Otter Creek, right? This was...
No. Okay. I think they might have been related to someone in Otter Creek, though. Like the mayor or somebody. I wouldn't doubt it. So... and you're like, well, that's kind of weird that somebody buys something at a silent auction and they're not even there and they weren't even attending the auction. So how do they see a unit? Because people are like, well, Rob, just get over it. They put a higher bid than you. Okay, that's not the case. I don't care if I lose. I've lost to Jeremy. I've lost to my man, not to Conky. But
I think you have at least once. I remember.
I know Conky beat Jeremy. I know that. Just the other day. But yeah, you probably did beat me before Conky. But I don't care about losing the unit. It's just that if you're not going to play by the rules, it's real simple to figure out, ladies and gentlemen. The manager gets to see all the bids. Her boyfriend, friend, whoever it was, he could have a sheet filled out. Only thing she's got to do is put the number for the unit that they want because they already seen the unit because they opened the unit. So she goes, okay, I looked at everyone's bid. Only thing I do is put a $10 higher bid in, and they get the unit. So a lot of people don't think, and I'm leaving the facility. She's in the unit with the guy that bought the unit at 6:30 at night. The place closes at 5 o'clock. She's an hour and a half after the place closes, going through a storage unit with some random person that just happened to leave a bid. No, she didn't do anything illegal. She didn't do anything shady. No. So, unfortunately, the guy threatened me many times. People are like, Rob, well, you cut the video up. I had to cut the video so much because the guy was using words that I would have got demonetized on YouTube very quickly if I put those words out.
YouTube does not like cuss words, and if you put them in, that's not good.
Right. And there was cussing at the end, and I warned everybody, I don't put cussing in my videos usually, but the only way I could relate to what was happening, if I took out the cussing, it would have just been, it just didn't make sense. So the first time I really left cussing in my video, because the guy was cussing so much, I had to leave it in to get the context of how much he was threatening me. So to go along, I contacted Ohio Department of Agriculture Enforcement Division. I know one of the gentlemen there who does the actual enforcing. He said, Rob, they're not an auction company, but they're conducting a silent auction. You guys are supposed to oversee auctions. Well, we don't oversee that. Okay. Who should I contact? He said, contact the district attorney's office. Or no, attorney general's office. So I put everyone in video. And so thank you, everyone that called the attorney general. And if you haven't, I appreciate if you do call him. Yeah, he was a jerk, Bonnie. So I called the attorney general office, and, they're like, well, after I tell them the whole story, well, we don't really know what to do, but we'll put your complaint in. Okay. The police, they don't care. They're Cleveland police officers. They don't care whatsoever. And as Lenny right here, the idiots are so arrogant and crude. The cop was clueless. Yeah, they were clueless. They're like, well, we don't know auction laws. Okay, well, I'm trying to explain them to you here. And it's not about auction laws. It's just about law in general.
It is. It's criminal law in general.
Right. But the Cleveland cops and everyone, the thing is they're understaffed. They're undertrained. And, you could say, hey, the cops, blah, blah. Is it the cop's fault, or is it the person that put them in this position's fault? They're so short-staffed, and I understand. Who would want to be a police officer in 2023? I sure wouldn't. I don't know how many people actually want to be a police officer in this day and age. So I can blame the cops, but I know what they're dealing with in Cleveland, and obviously a storage unit thing compared to some dude dying of heroin or some guy robbing the Walmart or some guy carjacking somebody. There's bigger priorities out there, and they just wanted to leave, and it's their fault. But yeah, what am I going to do about it? So I contacted my lawyer. Right now, my lawyer's overlooking all the paperwork, documentation, everything else, and we're going to go from there. So that's the update and where I'm at. I'm going to put out a video probably. It's very frustrating because no one oversees these storage facilities. It's like the Wild West. And you call people that you would think they would actually care, but they don't care. So
the only people that really care are us buyers, and something's got to be done.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know what to be done. I'm going to have to do some brainstorming with Jeremy over here, Conky, and I don't know. Maybe we have to come up with some kind of maybe we have to find a good lawyer and pitch in some money and put them on a retainer or something that could go after these facilities or something. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, but it's not just Jeremy and myself. This is just the people you get to see because we're on YouTube. Just to think of how many people in Ohio right now every day are buying storage facilities that have been set up, scammed, whatever. And it's a horrible, because there's some people out there, like Jeremy, he bought a unit for $8,000. If he didn't get his money back, Jeremy could live. But there's some people out there, they could invest their whole life savings to buy this storage unit because they want to make their better life, and it was set up and staged by someone, and they don't have the means, the knowledge to fight these people. And they just out $8,000, their whole life turns upside down, and they got to change their whole plan because of some crooked storage facility. Or like this one, it's like, yeah, the unit, it's not that big of a deal. I didn't get the unit and all that. The why I was upset is because the principles of, if it's a fair and legit auction, it's all great. But it's like going, okay, we're going to do this lottery. Everyone buy a ticket, but we already know this guy's winning it. So why did everyone buy a ticket?
Remember the Monopoly pieces on McDonald's food? And there was a huge scandal. The guy who was creating it actually had the winning ticket. McDonald's made all this money, and there was a huge scandal. This dude had the winning ticket. Guess what? He's in jail now. Guess what should be happening to these facilities? They should be in jail. They're scamming and stealing from people.
And that's why the cops should be taking it seriously. But like I said, unfortunately, both instances were not in the suburbs. If I dealt with a suburbs, I think I would have got more cop involvement, more investigation. And the best is the police come over to me and they're like, well, they just want you to leave. I'm like, well, that's all great, but that's not why I called you here. I'm going to leave. I called you here because they're doing something, crooked. And then the one police officer, I'm like, well, what's the other guy's name? He's like, well, I didn't ask him for his ID. You took my ID. You didn't ask those two people for their ID. I mean, what kind of, they did no questioning whatsoever. It was just basically, let's get this guy out. He's the problem. Let's get him out. And I'm not the problem. I'm the one trying to fix it. So I don't know. That's the update on it. I wish I had more to tell you. I wish I could tell you that they're getting prosecuted. They're going to jail. The manager lost her job, all this other stuff. But unfortunately, none of those things have happened yet. But with our community, like I said, anyone out there that has called, I appreciate it. Send a letter, whatever you could do to anybody in Ohio. I know some people are like, I don't live in Ohio. That's okay. The thing is that the more they get, if they see all these things coming in about the same storage facility over and over, somebody's going to say, wait, we got to do something here. They get all these phone calls. This storage facility is crooked. My phone call is one phone call. If 1,000 phone calls come in or 50 phone calls, it's a lot different. So anything you guys could do, I appreciate. And I'm going out to our community, help us, and they probably do, Rocky. They probably work for Lynette and John Kirk or their relatives. It's quite possible. Maybe they probably got a whole web of their relatives out there screwing people over. Thank you, Rocky. I like that name too.
I wonder if the Conky County Sheriff would have done a better job for you.
Someone else says you should call the sheriff next time. I should have called the sheriff, but I'm assuming the sheriff would say, well, that's call Cleveland police. But I don't know. But next time. It all
depends on who has jurisdiction.
Right. Because I called the Cleveland police and they're like, well, you got to call this other police department. So I called the other police department. But this is a good question. Why did they do it as a silent auction?
So that they could do exactly what they did.
Exactly.
Good point. Good point.
And I got 3 comments, okay, after I released that video. One comment definitely was from the manager. One comment was from the guy that threatened me. And one comment was from the owner of the facility. The owner of the facility is as crooked as can be. She's in on it. Okay, just let everyone know. She is why this is happening. She has created this culture of thievery, theft, deception, all this other stuff. And here's the big red flag. As soon as you get there, there's no video recording. It's anytime we've been at a storage facility and they said you cannot record, they have all been crooked because they don't want it on camera because they know they're doing illegal activity. And Mr. Hales will back me up on this.
100%. You have to understand, you whip out your phone and your family, your friends, what's the first thing they do in camera? They want to be silly. They want to make you laugh. They want to be on camera. Generally speaking, and again, this is a generalization, when people don't want the camera on, they're trying to hide something.
It's just the fact. And we've been to multiple facilities. They'll say there's no recording. And as soon as that comes up, that's when you need to bring out your secret phone or whatever, because there's something shady going on. There's a reason they don't want you recording this stuff. There's no other reason. They're recording you. Okay, they got cameras all around the facility, so it's not like they're against being seen on camera. So you got to ask yourself, why can they record me and they don't want me to record you? Oh, that's funny.
This is one of our old secret recording devices. So if I turn it around, that is the camera.
Cool.
This is the battery pack. Now it's a piece of what the Hales nostalgia. So you can see the secret cameras right there. And I would wear it, and the camera is right inside the hole, and the camera is attached to the back right there. That's the battery pack. How I turn it on, turn it off is right here with the switch. So this would turn on, turn off, and then you got an SD card. So this is a little piece of hidden filming, what the Hale's nostalgia right here.
Has that ever been to a coin pusher?
This piece, no. This has been at storage unit auctions.
Ah,
We've advanced quite a bit from this.
Yeah, that was funny because they were like, oh, you don't even belong here because you didn't buy a unit. I did buy the unit. I did buy a unit there. Actually, my guys bought the unit. I personally, physically did not buy the unit because I was out seeing a client. So I sent my guys there, and I sent 2 of them because I figured, well, they could keep each other in check, you know? Like, don't buy that.
yeah, how'd that work out for you?
Jason just brought up filming glasses. We have a couple of pair here on the nostalgia shelf for What the Hales. So we
stopped wearing those because you got your eye surgery done.
We have upgraded from filming glasses as well. Not to mention, I just look like a complete and total nerd when I wore them. Hipster Jeremy. I should pop the lens out, really. But with filming glasses, what happens is all your information is stored right here. This is basically a USB, and this has been used multiple times on the channel as well. But now it's a piece of What the Hales. If you look at this shelf right here, that's What the Hales history. There's another filming glasses box right there. So we don't use these anymore. We've upgraded. We're a little bit more high tech right now. And a lot of people go, well, tell us what you do. Tell us what you do. Well, we intentionally don't state what we do because if we did, it really wouldn't work to be a secret film, would it?
It's a drone. He flies overhead and has a high-def camera. Conky controls the drone.
But
okay, I'm going to show you one more.
One more.
All right, this is a piece of What the Hales nostalgia. As a matter of fact, you see the hole right there. This is a hidden camera. Now, if I flip it inside out, well, I just screwed it all up, but it's a hidden camera. So this is a hidden camera hat, and we don't use this anymore either. This is a piece of nostalgia. We're a little more high tech, but you can see where the camera is. And I can show this stuff to you now because I'm not concerned. And I don't mind sharing that with you. Oh, I got to Velcro it back in. So that's another piece of What the Hales nostalgia in the realm of secret recording. Now, keep in mind, we never secret record in states where it is illegal. We only record in states where it's legal. So, for example, let's say somebody gets on the telephone and they're in Florida, and let's say they call the county courthouse in Ohio. That is illegal unless that member is told they are being recorded, because in Florida, it is illegal. That is absolutely 100% illegal wiretapping laws. If you're calling in Ohio and you're recording, you don't have to say anything. Florida, you must gain permission or you go to jail. Think that might be an issue for somebody? You better believe it. But in Ohio, I can secret record. There's number of different states. There's only about, I think last I checked, there's like 12 states where I couldn't just record however, wherever.
What's Texas like?
So California is an issue. Florida is an issue. I have to be in public. Whenever you see me recording in Florida, number one, I have permission from the people, or I actually am in public property, which would be the road, town hall, things along those lines.
Or you're on your personal private property.
So when you see me ever filming, if you go, oh, Jeremy, when you just moved to Otter Creek, you filmed your neighbors. I was always standing in the road, which is public, or my own property. That was it, which was completely and totally legal. You cannot in Florida call clerk of courts in Ohio and not tell them that you're recording. You have broken the law. You head to jail. Does not matter if they're a public official. Ohio law is not the same as Florida. You place a call in Florida and you do not let that person know and get their permission to actually record them, you have broken the law. Florida is an all-party, it's called a two-party or an all-party consent state. You must give everybody's permission.
Jeremy, 007 agent. Wait till he shows you his shoe phone.
You want to see that one next? Smart. Oh, wait.
Thanks,
Now I see where you're going with that. I'm too innocent. I'm too pure. Now I see where you're going with it.
Oh, man. So someone said, where in the world is Guapo? He is flying somewhere. No, he's flying back from VidSummit. Thanks, Ken Rocky. So Guapo and I, we went to VidSummit. He landed on Monday. I came in on Tuesday. Had a lot of fun. Like I said, I met a lot of interesting people, and that's the main thing. Is just it's very strange. And Jeremy and Conky can relate to this. When you go to this VidSummit, you got all these people. They're all like-minded. You know, you got all these people that are content creators. They're trying to grow YouTube channels. So it's real easy. You talk to people. I mean, everyone has complete crazy spectrum of content all over the board. Everyone's got this guy's finance, this guy's, whatever. One person just does hair. The one girl I met today does ice baths. I mean, that's her whole channel's just taking an ice bath. She's like, I don't know how I'm going to get my watch time up. I said, well, maybe you should do like a challenge. You against your husband who can stay in the ice bath the longest. Or, I'm giving her ideas. I'm sitting there pumped. But that's, she's sitting there talking to me. She's got 800-some thousand subscribers. I was 60-some thousand, but that doesn't matter. I mean, I got ideas she might have never thought about. And I can learn from somebody else. And that's the whole key of coming to this thing is there's some awesome people talking, but then you get to actually go and, I was sitting here with a guy he's in charge of, what the heck is that thing called? YouTube Buddy or whatever?
Tube Buddy.
He's the guy that created it. I'm sitting next to him at the conference watching these other guys about AI. And we're sitting there talking about all this stuff. And it's just like, about AI and the things and how he got to where he is. And so it's interesting on that aspect.
Dana, your answer is many, many times. And the people in power have that information.
How many times has the RO been broken?
Restraining
I
order.
just answered that one.
Restraining order. Okay. I wasn't sure what RO. I'm a little slow. I'm multitasking. Finishing up a text with a friend after her jewelry live and another text with my three sisters while watching this. And we know that story of juggling 5 things with only 2 hands. And the funny thing was someone was like, I don't know how I have time to do this YouTube stuff. And I looked at him. I'm like, let me explain this to you real quick.
You are the problem. That's what you tell them.
You are the problem. I ran a full-time auction company. I still do. I got 2 kids, and I had multiple rental properties. I was already working 60 hours a week, and then Jeremy goes, hey, Rob, start a YouTube channel. Okay, finally, I started a YouTube channel, and I don't regret it. I love it, but it was just adding a whole nother job, and everyone that already knew me, multiple people said, Rob, how are you going to do this? How is it even going to be possible? How can you have time? You don't even have time to do everything you got to do now. How are you going to have time to do a YouTube channel? Well, just like anything else, so you got to work a little harder. You got to create time. And just like this summit or YouTube, anything in life, what you put into it is what you're going to get out. Like Jeremy was trying to say earlier, all these people think, I'm just going to, he put in so much and he's gotten so much out of it because he put so much into it to the point where it's detrimental to his relationship even. That's how much he put into it. And a lot of people aren't willing to take that amount of effort, energy, and everything else and put into it. And I said, well, I'm going to try. And you know how many times I wanted to quit? I know Jeremy, I'm sure there's times he wanted to quit even just because simple. Sometimes it's nerving. I mean, everyone thinks it's going to go a straight line. And your growth is going to be – there's times you have negative growth. There's times you were booming 2-3 months. Everything's going so great. And all of a sudden you get 2-3 months that are horrible. And you're like, how the heck did I go from doing this to here? The algorithm doesn't like me. Is that the right answer? That's not the right answer. Remember, the algorithm just equals audience, okay? So the audience didn't like you. Just like I was telling the one guy, I said, we all went shark fishing. We thought, man, we caught a 1,000-pound tiger shark. This video is going to be amazing. People are going to be like, wow, these guys, they did this. Oh, it was so fun. It was amazing. Our videos, all of our videos bombed horribly. Horribly. But our audience didn't want to see us catch a tiger shark. They wanted to see whatever. They didn't want to see that.
They want these storage units. Well, and that's the thing. YouTube takes your content and pairs it with the people who watch that content. We go shark fishing once, and it suppresses the content because our viewers don't want to see it, and we haven't built up a viewer base of shark fishing. So that's where I go with a channel. You know, people will tell me, hey, you're doing it all wrong. You are, you know, you're screwing it all up. Everything I do on YouTube, I do everything with a phone. They'll tell you you're completely and totally doing it wrong. And yet, believe it or not, somehow, some way, we've had quite a bit of success.
Well, it's funny. I told a guy I did my thumbnails on my phone, and he looked at me like I had 10 heads. He was like, "Are you serious?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I do everything on my phone." What? He was over there like flipping out, like,
believe it.
Yeah, he couldn't even believe it, you know. And I'm just like, I was telling the lady today, I said, "Yeah, I do everything on my phone, everything." And she's like, "How can you even do that?" I'm like, the problem is for me to sit down with a computer and have the time to sit in front of a computer. I already told you my life's crazy and hectic, you know.
That's what I don't understand how they cannot do it on their phone. It's so much faster on the phone, and you can do it anywhere at any time.
Yeah, I mean, how many times have you been sitting like waiting for a storage unit auction, working on a video? I'm sitting there waiting for a client, or you know, whatever. I just got done eating lunch. I got 10 minutes. I sit there, work on a thumbnail or whatever. It's just like if I'm trying to break, let me open my computer, let me turn it on, and I don't have. My life isn't like that. I wish I had that, but I don't have that. And I guess maybe I could change everything I do and do it. But Jeremy told me, hey, do it through the phone. And I've done it through the phone, and I've been moderately successful. And now I know. So, and I'm comfortable with it.
I finally put KindMaster on my, I say new phone. I've had this phone for 2 years or more. I finally put that on there and started doing the videos on the phone.
Now, you see YouTube just came out with their own editing program, right?
Mm-mm.
They didn't even talk about that at VidSummit.
They didn't talk about it once. Not one
Holy
person.
God, this is like the biggest thing in the world, man.
I didn't,
no joke. Here.
They talked
Full
about
screen.
AI coming out. Hold on, let me
Full screen me. All right, I'm going to show you the thumbnail for it. It is called, you're going to see it right here in the corner, YT Create. It's called YouTube Create. So that is, you want to download that. That is YouTube's own editing app now. And so
you tried it yet?
Like this. So I downloaded it as soon as they released it. Let me see if I can get that to actually come up. And I meant to immediately do some editing, but I haven't done any editing in it yet. So I need to, and hopefully very, very, very soon. And it's 100% free as well. Like, this is like the no-brainer. Like, why has YouTube waited this long to create their own editing app? They should have had the monopoly and the market on it. They're YouTube.
Well, he said that YouTube is rolling out some AI tools. So that's what I thought you were talking about first. Thank you, Mike and Beth. She thought the Tiger Shark video was awesome. I did too.
Oh, it was awesome.
I mean, the only thing was that was the closest I ever got to Jeremy. Yeah, real close. There was a point I think he was straddling me, but we're not going to talk about that anymore.
But it was a life or death situation.
It was life and death.
Trying to not die.
We're trying not to get pulled in with a 1,000-pound tiger shark in the water and a bunch of other sharks.
Yeah, he was already pissed off.
He was
very.
It took us over an hour to bring that thing in.
That's a life experience right there.
It says, Rob, you're putting out videos almost daily. It has to be your YouTube or that there are so many new YouTubers. Jeremy works daily too, but haven't mentioned your reviews. There's a lot of new YouTubers to the market. It's a platform that's always grown. And there's the number one job that a child wants right now is to be a content creator. Okay. That's how big it is. And which is great. And then the one guy stays like he was trying to get Harvard to start a YouTube or like an online schooling, like class for online stuff. And it's all good. The issue is that I hate for people. How do I put this? It's great being a content creator. It's great doing all stuff, but you're not everyone's. It's like being a professional athlete. Okay. Everyone wants to love to be a professional athlete. But you guys know how hard it is to become a professional athlete. The 10% of 10% of 10% of 10% make it. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're great in college. When you get to professional elite, everyone's great. So it's like YouTube's very similar. The thing is, you got to stand out and be greater than other people or make entertaining. Whatever you do is somehow your content has to be to the point where people want to watch it. So,
and 99.99% of the people who start fail. They're never going to make it.
And it's easy. I could understand why, because there's times you want to quit because I mean it's like, but if you're not have that mindset, like if you haven't started a business or anything else in your life, it's one of those things. There's so many failures to become successful that a lot of people don't. I mean, the one guy, he was sleeping in his car for a year to make it. Okay, I mean that's dedication. I think everything you do is awesome. I think you could film watching paint dry. You're making commentary. It's good. And that's the thing. I mean, and like Jeremy, myself, Conky, we're just how we always are. We're not trying to, we don't try to fake it. We're putting our personalities online. We're not trying to be anybody that we're not. And some people are going to like it and some people aren't. And that's okay. But our goal is just trying to make the most entertaining content. And really, it's capturing our life. Like Jeremy said before, you have this scrapbook of your life. And I can go back and like if I passed away horribly, okay, I don't want to say it, but if I did pass away, my kids can go back and the 4 years I've been making videos and they could go back and be like, wow, and listen to things I'm saying and things like that and be like connecting with their father, even though I'm gone, that's always going to be out there. So it's such a great experience. I got my dog in videos and things like that. And one day he's not going to be around, it's a great thing to remember all those memories. And sometimes I'll go back and like I look at a thumbnail and it's just like, oh my gosh, I forgot about that unit. Or man, I remember when Jeremy and I did that, or Conky and I were at this auction or went to wherever. And so it's like saving all those memories. It's like instead of a photo album, it's a video album
of some of the best moments. And frankly, for me, I don't know about you guys, but for me, some of the worst moments of my life. Like never in a million years did I think I would have to film all my interaction in Otter Creek with Town Hall because of the corruption and the theft and the lying with Mary and Russell and the aspect of having dangerous stalking neighbors. And, it's the best moments of my life going out and catching 1,000-pound tiger shark with these guys. Like that is something I will never, ever forget. It's like pinnacle. And some of the worst moments of my life, some of the best moments, buying a storage unit in Pennsylvania and finding brand new tool chests. And now they're in my garage and I can't even believe it. I mean, I have the world's coolest garage from the world's coolest storage unit. But then again, some of my worst units are moments buying a unit filled with rocks, bidding against Rob for $500. I have the best units or the best moments of my life and the worst moments of my life filmed.
And the $500 rock unit affected all three of us. I didn't get the unit. I was bidding against Jeremy on that unit. Conky had to unload and load all, and then he
got all the rocks.
He goes to dump the dump trailer. It was so heavy he couldn't even use the dump thing, so he had to hand unload them by hand. So it affected all of us, and but the great thing is we can all look back on it and we have a good time and laugh about it. But at the time that unit was horrible. I was happy because I didn't win it.
But if we never filmed it, do you think we'd all still be joking about it?
No. And that's
the beauty of it. That's really the beauty of it, because it is a scrapbook, a video scrapbook of our lives.
Just like, parachuting with diapers on, what I'm saying? I mean, people
nobody would believe we ever did it. But they would probably believe Conky passed out.
Yeah, that's true.
Landed like a rock star.
Speaking of which, Conky, don't you have some new merch?
I've got the T-shirts. I've got T-shirts that say "Landed like a rock star." I've got some that say "Conky passed out." For those of you who want to believe that, and then the mugs actually say them both. You just on different sides. And I've sold a few pieces, and people have gotten. I think somebody in the chat earlier said that they got their T-shirt and liked it.
Yeah, they got the Conky passed out T-shirt.
Yeah, that's the more popular one, I guess.
Well, this is the T-shirt I'm going to start selling. No rock star. My anti-Conky shirt. So
now, Jeremy, you did say that when I came up with a Conky passed out T-shirt, you were going to wear one.
Yeah, you want to see mine? I just got it in the mail.
Did you? Where is it?
All right, I'm going to get it.
He accidentally pushed his button. Thank you, Bonnie.
I thought I would give him an exit for tonight.
You guys are going to leave because Jeremy left them. Thumbs up, everybody. If you're out there watching now, help out the channel. Any kind of thumbs up always helps. Comments help. Anything you do to help, I appreciate it. I'm trying to get this thing to 100,000 subscribers. And why? For my son. Not for me. My son said, Dad, can you get 100,000 subscribers and get that plaque for I can put it in my room? And that's what my son asked me. And this is a couple years ago. So that's been my goal. My son has motivated me to say, hey, try to get 100,000 subscribers. And it's so weird because I'm at a YouTube conference. I don't watch YouTube. Okay. So everyone's going to, I don't have time. I don't even watch TV. I mean, the amount of time in a week that I have to sit down and actually watch something, I mean, it's probably maybe an hour and a half or something. And most of the time it's like my wife or my kids are watching something. So I just, I'm not here to rock the boat. Let them watch the stuff that so I'm at a YouTube conference. I don't know. Everyone's like, oh, you see that person over there? I'm like, I don't know who they're talking about. I mean, and then I was trying to explain to people because they're like, oh, you should do a video and, about Mr. Beast. And I said, a lot of people that watch my videos, believe it or not, there's probably a lot that don't even know who Mr. Beast is because I have a different audience. Mr. Beast audience is a lot younger and, people might see him in the news and stuff like that. I mean, he's the biggest YouTuber out there. That doesn't make just because you watch YouTube that everybody who watches YouTube watching Mr. Beast says he's the biggest YouTuber. That's just not how it works. And, so a lot of these people, I don't know who they are. This guy's up there. He's got 3 million subscribers. This guy, 10 million subscribers. This guy, that. I was more worried about what I could learn from them. And that's why I went to a lot of these things. And it was an interesting conference. And someone asked if I did the cop update already. I did a police update. The update is I'm dealing with my lawyer right now because every other avenue I've gone down has not worked. And see right here, perfect example. I never heard of Mr. Beast, and my audience is more my demographic. I mean, I'm 40 some years old. Most of the people that watch me are in their 50s, 60s, 70s. Over 50% of my audience are, in that range. Where Mr. Beast, I'm sure 50% of his audience is probably 21 and under. So that's what I try to explain to people because everyone knows who Mr. Beast is. No. No, they don't. So I didn't know who he was until my son kept telling me about him. So thank you. But we appreciate all you guys watching us. And the great thing about, Conky and myself, I mean, we do auctions. Jeremy does stuff and Guapo too. So you get the chance to buy. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. And I got an auction coming up Saturday. You know what auction that is, Conky?
That's the one with that I'm going to be bidding on some stuff.
Did you see there's 2 books?
2 books
with the fast track thing? There's 2 manuals that came with. So you have another one.
Yeah. The manual for the truck and the manual for the transport. Yeah.
Oh, is there 2? Yeah, I didn't know if they were duplicate or they were both separate.
It looked like there was one for each.
Okay.
Now I have probably I've got my original set that I got as a kid. I probably have 4 other big tracks and maybe 1 other trailer, but I can always add to the collection. There's some other things in that auction I'm going to be bidding on.
Sheila says, I love your shows, Rob. Now all we have to do is teach Jeff to get tough skin or quit reading the stupid negatives. Yeah. when you're new to YouTube, and Jeff's basically new to YouTube because I just threw him into my channel here. It's very difficult at first because people don't understand. We'll pray for you, Jamie. We'll pray for you. And losing your job is the best thing that ever happened to you. Just remember that. Take it as a positive, not a negative. A lot of people go, oh, I lost my job. This is your opportunity to do whatever you want. I'm sorry, I lost my thought there just because a lot of people, oh, I lost my job. It's like,
talking about the negative comments that
yeah.
Just
It's real simple to sit behind a computer and leave negative comments. You don't, like I told Jeff, none of those people will ever come up and tell you that to your face. Okay. Don't worry about negative comments. I've had so many negative comments out there, and just like today, someone called me a bad dad. I had a person do that before on one of my videos because I had my son buy a storage unit. And it's easier said than done because anytime someone attacks you, you always want to, first thing you want to do is go right back and attack, defend yourself. And I've got to my point where I'm just like, you know what, just block and delete the comment. It's not worth my time to sit there and tell them why they're, but I did respond to one comment because I knew it was from the storage facility manager or one of the people that work for the storage facility. And I said, obviously you work for the storage facility. That's why you're leaving this comment, block and delete. And, but yeah, Jeff, he's getting thicker skin and he's working with me, and I'm a very nice guy, but sometimes I can poke the bear a little bit. So I like to get reactions out of Jeff.
Yeah, I had somebody in. It's in when you leave a comment on our video, it either goes straight to the comment section, or sometimes certain words can put it in a hold for review to where we have to go in and release it. And then if you say something really bad, it hides it from us, but tells us it's there in case we want to see it. In case, I don't know why it does that. I just either I want to see them or I don't. But it makes sure that you've got thick enough skin when you click here. You're going to see something that might offend you, blah, 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 and all that. So there was one of those comments left on my video about the model kits that I did. Remember I bought all those models off of Dave?
Yep.
Public storage auction. Well, I did a video on those. It says I bought a model kit junkyard that showed like a bunch of models sort of in a row. It's video's probably over a year old now. And somebody left and as I go through that video, I kind of act a little bit aloof. I'll pull out a car that I know full well is a Ford. And I say, oh, that looks like a Chrysler or something like that. Just to kind of get people going in the comment section. And some guy got on there and started calling me an effing idiot, and I don't know anything. And within 30 seconds, I had the best response to that comment. I mean, it was smart ass. It was funny. It would have made the guy feel about that tall. But I thought, you know what? YouTube probably doesn't want me cussing out my audience, so I'll just block and delete. That was hard to do. I really wanted to respond to it.
I have before, and I know what you mean. Tricky cheat, thank you. You have to have thick skin. Yeah, a lot of times, like I said, your first reaction is to respond back, and that's why they always tell you, sleep on stuff. And I just want to make one quick comment here because person that lost your job, that's why I'm at where I am at today, because I lost my job. And I just want to go very quick on it. I used to run hotels and restaurants, ladies and gentlemen. I ran hotels for over 7 years. I cooked for over 7 years. I had 14 years of experience in hospitality. I got to a point where they were flying me all around the country to basically anytime a general manager from a hotel, Marriott, I worked for a Marriott. Well, the company I worked for owned Marriott's and some other higher end hotels. So anytime anyone got fired or quit, I would have to go and babysit the hotel because someone has to run the hotel until we replace somebody. My wife said, this ain't working. We just got married. You got to find another job. So she gives me this job. I look at this job, consulting, hotel industry, all this other stuff. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to try it. Why not? So I get this job doing consulting, flying around the country. And basically I would fly to sites, meet with people. And most of these people were very wealthy and they wanted to build the indoor water park resort. It was their specialty. So like Kalahari or Great Wolf Lodge, those kind of resorts. And people like, once again, people don't understand how much effort and work it is. So they would hire a company. We do a ring analysis, market analysis, all these things, hand them a report this thick and charge them $30,000 to $50,000. They'd take that report, go around, show everybody, and try to get people to invest in it. 2 years later, they got all the people, but now the bank says, well, we need a new report because that one's 2 years old and it's outdated. So they would have to hire us again and come in and do another, have to update all the stuff and then give another. They usually give them a little bit cheaper price because we already had a lot of the information that we needed. Well, 2008 happened. Guess what? No one was building indoor water park resorts. Okay? No one was even staying in hotels. Everything crashed. So my boss calls me in. Rob, we love you. You're laid off. Goodbye. I had a new house. I just said my son was just born. Okay? I got a little girl. My daughter's there. My son's just born. My daughter's 3. My son's born, a new baby. I got a wife, house paid, everything else, and I lost my job. So what do? Go right back to the hotel industry? And I said, you know what? I've seen so many people, because I used to go be filling for these hotels. Some of these guys would get fired. They worked for the company 15, 20 years. They'd have a few bad quarters in a row. They'd get fired. And that's when I said to myself, you know what? I am going to take control of my life. Whatever I have to do, I'm going to control my life. And you want to talk blood, sweat, and tears, sleepless nights, on my knees praying to God, all kind of other stuff. I can go into it all. But I never said, I'm going to fail. I'm just going to keep doing it. I take money on my 401k every year for 5 years in a row, ladies and gentlemen, just to maintain. I didn't want my kids to suffer because of what I was trying to create. I figured, hey, later on in life, if I don't have the money because I took it all out of my retirement, at least I tried. At least I didn't want to look back and have regrets in my life. And that's what I did. And that's where I am now, and then it's like this YouTube thing just popped up because Jeremy. And that's how life is. You could plan your whole life out, but it's not going to work that way. So like you lost your job, it's probably the best thing that ever happened to you. Right now, it feels like the worst. When I walked out of that place, I was crying. I was so down and out. I never got fired in my life or whatever, let go or anything else. I was always, Rob, the only thing they ever want to do is promote me, put me in charge of this, put me in charge of that. Da, 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 da. And then to walk out feeling this low about yourself, you have a family you got to support, you got no job. What do? The easiest thing to do would have been running back to my old company where I was making 6 figures and life was great. It wasn't that great because if it was that great, I would have went back probably. But, you have a boss and that boss has a boss and that boss has a boss. And it was always, there's always someone above you, people calling you, giving you a hard time. What about this, and this? I didn't want that. I wanted to be the boss. And that's why at the time it felt like the worst thing ever to happen to me and ended up being the best thing because it led me down this path where I actually do what I love to do every day. I don't even think I'm working. I tell people I'm retired. People are like, well, I love going through stuff. I love meeting people. I love finding new things, researching, seeing all these awesome items. But all that only happened because I got laid off. If that didn't happen, then I started buying and selling houses, buying and selling cars. Then I went to storage unit auctions, and I met this auctioneer, and I said, you know what? I always want to be an auctioneer. If you're serious, buy my company. Well, the guy screwed me over. I took that money. I bought my building. There's so many things that happened. I could have right there, as soon as he said, I had this falling out with the auctioneer, and I was in a mentorship program, and you have to do 12 months under somebody, and I'm halfway through. So now I can't get my license. My whole life's turned upside down. I could easily walk away and quit again. So many times you could have quit. I'm just telling everybody out there, don't quit. And I got to get to this. Tricky Cheese said, Conky, every online community like that I learned fast to have thick skin, a service dog online community. Those people are rude, mean, nasty, degrading, and worse. Tricky Cheese, thank you. And it's real easy for people to be nasty on the line. That's why there's so much problems with kids these days, cyberbullying, because it's so easy because you don't have to look at that person's face. And I spoke to a guy the other day. I know I'm going on tangents here. I'm sorry, Conky.
Keep going.
But I spoke to a guy the other day, and his son was getting cyber bullied, okay, because he didn't want to play football, and he wanted to be in the school band. Well, this kid's like the biggest kid in the school. So all the people out there, all the other football players, all the stuff, they wanted him to be on the team, but he didn't want to be on the team. He wanted to be in the band. Okay, that's what he enjoys to do. So they all started calling him names, derogatory names, telling him all this stuff. He's whatever. You guys could think about what little kids, well, they're not little kids, but what kids be calm, this kid, okay? Everything in the thing. His dad goes, listen, this is what I want you to do, son. I want you to go to school and go right up to those kids and say, hey, you have an issue? What's your problem? I don't want you to fight anything. I just want you to go confront those kids. Physically, just go up to them and confront them face to face. You know what? Every single of those kids stopped. And that's the thing. Anybody that out there is a bully, I've learned this in my life because I stuck up for a lot of people in my life because I was a big kid. And anytime I saw people getting picked on, I would always stick up for them because I hated people getting picked on. And it's just one of those things that when you stand up to a bully, 99.9% of bullies are the biggest wimps, losers, whatever. They're so fragile. I could break a bully down so quickly. Verbally, I've seen them assault people, attack them. I would come back and attack them. I'd have them in tears sometimes because that's why they're bullies. There's a problem going on with their own life and they're taking it out. Most people are taking it out because they have their own issues and that's their release because maybe their parents were that way or their brother or whoever caused that. So like I said, bullies, they're nothing. And anyone, if you ever getting bullied or anything else, the only thing I do is stand up to them. And then obviously online, you can't stand up to them. So we get to block and delete them. So I got cyberbully for being a Browns fan, but I don't care. Let me tell you, being a Browns fan is like getting hit by a bus every year. Okay. I had one buddy the one time when LeBron James left the first time. He goes, I don't understand you people from Cleveland. You're all so upset and mad. This is just ridiculous, blah, blah, blah. And I go, listen, my buddy Chance, okay? I said, listen, what's your favorite teams? You want to hear his favorite teams? Dallas Cowboys, Chicago Bulls, New York Yankees. Okay, championships. Yeah, it's easy to be a fan when your team's winning. You know how hard to be a fan is when your team sucked for 20-some years? Okay. That's a real fan, okay? That's why people in Cleveland and everything else, when LeBron left, that's why we're so heartbroken. We thought this guy was like, oh, wow, he's a person from Ohio. He knows the pain, the suffering, and then he's going to bring us this championship, and he left. That's why when he came back, everyone was so happy. And, and then he left again. Everyone didn't care that much because he brought us the championship. But, I mean, it's stupid because it's just a sport, ladies and gentlemen. Really, in the end of the day, anyone that gets in fights over sports teams and there's been physical violence, a guy just got killed at a game because him and another guy from two different sports teams, they like two different teams, they got in a fight about it, And if you really think how asinine that is that someone died over a sport, a game, the players don't even care that much. They don't care. The only thing they care about is making their money. The owners don't care that much. The fans care way more than the players, the owners, and everybody else. The only thing those guys care about is money. Your money. So they don't care. It's just funny because it's like people take it so seriously. And I used to, I told people I can't invest my time in the Browns because it doesn't pay any dividends. You watch and then you just leave mad. So what fun is that? So, but yeah, I'm sorry. I've been on a lot of tangents today. But no, I appreciate everyone checking us out. And you got to check out Conky's Flippin' Adventures. He's getting this close to doing some restoration videos. We've been bugging him for years.
Yeah, well, here, I can't actually touch it with my hands, but the truck that you saw in the
hold on, let me look.
Thumbnail. That's what it looks like right now.
So explain why you can't touch it with your hands, Conky.
Because I sandblasted it, it's down to bare metal, and the oils in my fingers will make it rust again. So while it's like that, I have to wear gloves. I have to wear those green gloves.
I'm going to show you this, Conky. This is if you guys haven't seen the short, I'll show it to you since you all stuck around this long. Hold on, I got to redo it. Let me pause it here. Hold on, I'm going to have to. Let me try to get my focus right. Man, it's light. What's hitting that light? Is that?
Yeah, you got a glare.
Hold on. Let me try to fix it. It's a screen glare, huh?
Hang on a sec. Let me see if I can open new tab.
Oh, yeah, good idea, Conky.
See if I can bring it up. And
to see my Me riding a bull, huh? See if Conky can pull it off for us all. And
shorts. Oh, there it is. Okay. Can I pause it once I bring it up?
Yeah, you should be able to.
All right, hang on. Okay. Present.
Aunt Patty said, "You think YouTube comments are nasty? Try online dating in your 50s." That's funny, Aunt Patty. And yeah, well, people are just jerks, you know. All right, I got it up here.
Bring that up now. If I do this.
Well, let's play one more time through.
Jeez.
I went backwards with the Conky.
You stay on that thing a long time.
This is the speed up version too. That's at 2.5 times speed, Conky.
Huh.
Yeah, I stayed out for over a minute. I would say I beat Guapo. That's for sure. That was my only goal. At the end of it, I'm just holding on to the side of it just to beat Guapo.
That's funny.
So that's my riding the bull thing. Conky's wife said, why do I hear The Devil Went Down to Georgia by Charlie Daniels in my head?
Funny.
So Pamela said, Rob, that guy was a bumpy road. You and your son have millions of miles, a great road with millions more to come. Shake him and his ego and journey with your son. Thank you so much, Pamela. And, yes, I was a little depressed. Like I said, the first time I ever missed one of my kids' birthdays. So, my son just turned 13. My daughter's 15 years old. So all those years, I've never missed a birthday. So it was very difficult. I almost didn't come to VidSummit just because of my son's birthday. And I'm glad I did, though. And that was why probably I got so upset because, just one of those things. It's like you try so hard and then someone, and people always try to knock you down. And that's the thing about life. And that's why we got a community and we appreciate all you guys, your support out there. We really appreciate it. And, there's so many people out there negative, and we're just trying to, I'm just trying to give you guys an education about stuff that I find from storage units. I'm trying to give you guys a little bit of entertainment, laughter. Overall, I'm not trying to do anything. And it's amazing how people, like I said, it's amazing people attack me, and I never, I can't think of how I've ever upset anybody really. So it's always crazy. Like, why are you attacking me?
Well, that should tell you something right there.
Right.
Well,
here's a good way, Conky. I put it in perspective the one time. This is 2 years ago. And everyone knows Jeebus, okay? He's like Hales. He's one of the big dogs in our niche. He put out a video. He bought a bunch of Christmas gifts and was going out handing the Christmas gifts to kids. And I never watched, like I said. I just happened to click on that and just look through the comments. And there was like 5 negative comments about Jeebus and this stuff. And I'm like, the guy bought Christmas gifts, paid all this money, and just handing them out to kids. How can anybody think that is negative, bad, anything else? But there's at least 5 comments that people left that were negative. And I'm just thinking in my head, if he's doing such a great thing and people are leaving negative comments, then it don't matter. It's just people are always going to leave negative comments. So just like have that thick skin. And like I said, I mean, how can you? That's like saying, "Oh, Santa Claus is a horrible person because he gives people toys." I mean, obviously, he's just trying to be like a Santa Claus. But I'm just saying, how it was amazing. I've seen people attack somebody for doing something so good. It's like, I'm feeding the homeless. How dare you feed the homeless? It's like, what?
It's illegal to feed the homeless.
Yeah, they should feed themselves or whatever else. Well, I'm helping out. Okay, what do you want me to do? So. It's one of those things out there. You got to have thick skin. But you guys are why we do it. All the people that support us, leave us great comments and enjoy the videos. Or Rob, that helped me out. Or Rob, you made me laugh today. Or Rob, I never knew that. Or wow, that's great information. And, sometimes I put out information, then people come back. Here's a great example. How many ounces or how many grams are an ounce, Conky?
How many grams in an ounce?
Correct.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay. So I know it very thoroughly because here's the thing. A lot of people don't realize this. Okay. An ounce typically has 28 grams, a little bit over 28, but let's just say 28. Okay. Well, gold and silver are sold in ounces, but they're not regular ounces. They're called troy ounces. A troy ounce is 31.1 grams. Okay. So I put out there about the thing, and I was like, telling people about the math and 31 grams also. And then I had a bunch of comments, Rob, an ounce is 28 grams. Around ounce is 28 grams. People always want to tell you you're wrong, which is fine. And I appreciate when they tell me I'm wrong, but I had to just go back and say, hey, it's actually, and I try to explain it. It's confusing because it's like, what? There's two different ounces. I didn't know this when I was younger. I just thought an ounce was always 28 grams because that's what I learned in cooking school. And then when I started gold and silver, I started learning there's a troy ounce. Gold and silver is not weighed in regular ounces. It's a troy ounce, which is more than 27.7 or 28 grams. So it threw me for a loop. And I didn't know that. And a lot of people don't know that. And how would you know that unless you're buying gold and silver?
I didn't know until about a minute ago.
So, and this is one of those things, you're not going to have that knowledge, but I'm supposed to have that knowledge because people hire me to sell their stuff. And I need to have knowledge to know all kind of things. That's why a lot of people are like, Rob, how do you know all stuff? Well, I've been doing it for 15 years. I've seen a lot, and I don't know anything, to be honest. I know this much. There's so much to know. Like Conky, he could spend the rest of his life learning about restoration. So, it's there's just so much to learn. In my field, it's endless. There's some people that spend their whole life just studying English furniture or Renaissance masters in artwork or whatever. You know what I'm saying? There's so many little categories. Like Conky knows so much about Redline Hot Wheels. You can build a whole auction things about just selling toys and everything else, or what, So in my line, I have to try to, I like a lot of stuff. So I try to learn about a lot.
Well, it's just, I'm never more than a few inches away from a Redline Hot Wheel.
That's true.
They're always within, arm's length. So yeah, I'm going to know a little bit more than most people about it.
I will tell you one thing about Rob. If you get him and Guapo together, there's always going to be laughter. I found that out. Yeah. A lot of people don't know. Conky knows. I'm very, I don't know, serious, but I like to have fun. I'm a little wild and crazy sometimes, huh, Conky?
A little, yeah.
And like Jeff told me, he goes, man, you're out there, Rob, sometimes and stuff. It's like, if I was normal, okay, you think I would have all the stuff I just told you guys about, and all the, most people that are normal would even put themselves in that situation, or this doesn't make sense, And that's the thing, that being an entrepreneur, it's very difficult. And Conky knows he's been an entrepreneur for how long, Conky? But I have no guaranteed paycheck. And that's why a lot of people, you have a job and you have a guaranteed paycheck. You know where you're going to make every week, every 2 weeks. It's not like that. Me, not only I got to worry about my paycheck, I got all these employees. I got to worry about their paychecks. So it's one of those things that's like, it'll blow your mind.
See, that's something I could never, that was a step I could never take, is being responsible for employees. And
it was one of the most difficult things at first. One is employees. It's like everyone, oh yeah, just like today, people were telling me, oh Rob, you need to hire an editor, or you need to hire this person or this person. I was like, well, that's all great. It sounds easy, but to find someone I've hired lots of people. I've had a lot of people work for me. Right now, I have the best crew I've ever had, and but that there's been people that work for me, and I had to fire, and that's a difficult thing. A lot of people to sit there and actually have to fire somebody. It's not fun, but I ran hotels. I had at one point, the one hotel I worked for, we had 500 some employees. And then I remember the one hotel I went to, the first thing I did, they brought me in. They said, Rob, we have this issue. The manager in the restaurant needs to go, but they were afraid of getting rid of the manager because they were afraid of getting sued because it was a female, an African-American female. Okay. So they didn't want to fire her just because of that. But the person was incompetent in their job, and that's okay because not everyone's meant to do every job. You have to find what you want to do. Yes, license praise there. It's impossible to know everything. That's for sure. All right, see, I always throw myself off. I read these comments, Conky, and I'm sitting there and lose my train of
Talk
thought.
about hiring somebody.
And then you bring it back. So hiring that person, it's like, oh, you hire them, and I always relate this to one thing. When you hire somebody, it's like going to your date. They're going to tell you everything you want to hear, right? I'm the best employee. I come to work all the time, everything else, right? It's just like a date. Until you actually with that person for a while, then you really find out their true colors. But this person, what I had to do, they wanted me to get rid of this person. So I sat down with this lady and I talked to her for about an hour. And she's like, you know what? After I had a discussion with her, she resigned. She quit. They looked at me and they're like, how'd you do that? I didn't do anything. The only thing I did is I showed her the facts. She wasn't even happy. She was miserable. She hated the job. Everything else. That's why she was doing so badly. And if you don't have a passion or love, just like anything in life, you're not going to be successful. You know, I have a passion for my job as an auction. That passion goes into my YouTube because I love sharing my job with people. Conky has a passion of red lines and old toys. And that's why when he starts his channel, it's going to be unbelievable because that's a passion that he has. And he's had, you know, he loves old toys and then being able to restore them and stuff like that. It's a passion that he's going to have. And I think he's going to be extremely successful because of his passion. I've seen his passion throughout the years I've known him. So, you know, if you do what you love, hopefully you can make money in the end of the day. And I got lucky.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't just luck. I mean, it's funny how you can talk about, and you didn't really frame it this way, but it was a lot of work and a lot of risk. People will tend to mistake that for luck when you're sitting there now. You know what I mean? It's probably a little bit of luck, but it's a lot of the other stuff too.
Well, yeah, it's a little bit of luck maybe, but yeah, I mean, people don't understand. You know, there's been so many times where I didn't get any money whatsoever because I want to make sure my employees got paid. Or, okay, I had this much money, and you know what? This awesome storage unit came up, so I had to take money that I just picked up my rent money, for example. When I first started off, I'd go to storage unit auctions with my rent money to buy a unit, and sometimes I bought a unit. Well, guess what? Now my rent money that I got to go use to pay my bills, I just spent on a unit. So now I got to try to make money to, you know.
Now you got to work fast.
Fast, right. And, you know, it's risk, you know. And like I said, I had a family, a young family at the time, and a wife and everything else. And, you know, luckily I had that 401k that I was able to take money from. You know, a lot of people say, that's the worst thing you ever do. You robbed yourself and everything else. No, I didn't rob myself. I gave myself an opportunity. I invested in Rob Zjaba. That's what I did. I took my money that I had in an investment account, and instead of investing in these companies, I took that money and invested in me. And I think it paid good dividends. So,
yeah, when I started my business, working on what I work on for a day job now, the exercise equipment, I had to borrow, I think it was either $2,000 or $5,000 from our 401k. And as long as we paid it back within, I think it was like 90 days, there was no penalty whatsoever. And I had to borrow some money just so I could start the business. And within that 90 days, I made that money back and then some, paid it back, and I was off to the race. I haven't borrowed money from my business since. My philosophy on that is sort of, you know, if you're, and this is just speaking for me, if I'm in business for as long as I am and I have to borrow money, something's wrong. You know what I mean?
true. Unless you're borrowing that money to grow the business.
Yeah, but I mean,
I'm just saying, if you borrow money, okay, and you're like, well, I'm borrowing this money and I'm going to invest into the restoration thing, or I'm borrowing this money because I'm hiring this person that's going to help make my life better or easier, then then makes sense. But other than that,
I guess what that should tell you is that I've never really expanded the business like that. You know what I mean? It's grown, but I've never desired expanding it beyond what it already is. I started it to have a job, and now I want to, you know, transition into doing other things, which is, you know, the like the restoration videos and things like that. The other part of it that I don't really talk about much is, along with restoring these old toys, I want to be able to make parts for them. And I actually have a turned out to be a really good guy that has a machine shop that I could walk to from my house, actually. And I'm working with him on actually manufacturing some of the harder to find parts for these old toys.
Oh, that's cool.
So one of the things I'm going to start doing is, for example, on some of the old Tonka tow trucks, you can buy just about everything except for the tow boom. And I'm working with him the first project is we're going to design a process to recreate the tow boom and, you know, use them in my restoration, sell them, you know, whatever. that could become a, you know, assuming I do it right, that could become a nice little profit center.
No, that's definitely true. Sheila, we're getting ticked off at these corrupt storage units too. And yeah, he's going to assume, and that's the issue where I'm at right now. Legally, I've exhausted almost every avenue I can. So now the lawyer's involved. The question is, you know, the lawyer's looking over it, and then he'll get back to me after he makes an analysis of whether, you know, what can you do? It's very difficult, especially if the owner of the facility is crooked. So I don't know. It's a very difficult situation I'm in. Like I said, I thought the police would do more and everything else. And yeah, I can sue and everything else. You know, how much time, money, and effort I'm going to put into it. You know, I hate to ask the community, hey, let's start a legal fund and all this other stuff. So I don't know. I've been thinking about a lot of things. There's a lot of this corruption going on. And like myself and Jeremy and Jeebus, and, you know, we have means and stuff that we have money that we could put into it and all this other stuff. But at the end of the day, what about all the other people that can't, or all the other people that are getting messed over? You know, it's just,
well,
there needs to be an example made.
Yeah, I think that's all you can do at this point is make it so miserable for these places to do this that it's almost easier for them to do it right. You know what I mean? A prime example would be what Jeremy did with this guy down in Columbus. I mean, that guy's never going to recover from this. He will never. If they charge him the way I think they're going to charge him, he's going
to lose his auction license, everything else. So, and Patty Ann said, I want to try a YouTube channel, but I'm afraid no one will follow. Don't let that stop. Listen, there's a book called Think and Grow Rich. If no one's ever read the book, that's fine. But in the book, the main point of the book is there's one thing that stops everybody from being whatever, successful in life or anything else. And it's a 4-letter word that starts with an F. No Conky. I know you're thinking Conky. Get it out of your mind.
In mind, I can't say right now, but
yeah. It's a different F word. It's FEAR. Fear. Okay. And Patty, I'm just discussing you. And then Jane said the same thing. She has a YouTube plan all lined out. I just can't bring myself to pull the trigger. Guys, pull the trigger. What's the worst that can happen? You fail. That's okay. That's part of life. If you don't fail, you don't live. There are so many people I saw today. They started channel after channel after channel. Most of these people that were up there, they've been on YouTube 10, 15 years on YouTube, on the platform. The one guy, he's up there giving a thing today. He goes, last year was the first time I ever had any decent views, and I've been putting videos out for 15 years. And he's one of the keynote speakers. Okay? 15 years. But he loved creating content, so he didn't care that he didn't get no views. Okay? But if you do what you love, you put your passion in it, people are going to see that through the screen. There's going to be people that follow you, and you might only get 100 people. But you got 100 people that they care. They want to see your stuff. You know, and everything starts slowly and slowly. And some of these people, it took 5 years, 10 years, 15 years for them to be successful on YouTube. So don't let the fear stop you. It's easy to say, that's like the whole thing about Think and Go Rich. Well, I'm not this because of this. And it's just fear. That's giving your brain's giving you reasons to tell you why you can't do it or why you can't be successful at it or anything. It's just the nature of human nature. Like the guy said today, your brain is the only reason it's trying to keep you alive long enough for you to have kids and your kids to have kids. That's it. Because that's what the human is, to keep the generations going. Your brain's going to tell you everything that the only thing it wants you to do is survive, to have kids. I mean, as dumb as that sounds, that's all. I mean, that's all animals on Earth. There's a reproductive cycle to keep moving along. Your brain's going to tell you every reason why you can't be successful, why you shouldn't do it. You have to conquer that fear. And like I just told you guys, I lost my job. You want to talk about fear? You got 2 kids, young kids at home, a wife, a house that you just bought 2 years earlier, house payment. I got multiple other properties. I got mortgages on all these bills, and I got no job. Like I said, the easiest thing to do is say, you know what? I'm going to go back to my old job where I made all this money and I could be comfortable and I know what to do already, walk right into there. And, I would have been extremely successful at that, but I would not be happy. And that's what I traded. I traded all the money and all that stuff because I knew I could make lots of money doing that stuff. And I still didn't make what I used to make then. Okay. And how many years later? But I don't care. I'm happy. I'm my own boss. No one's telling me what to do, what to wake up. But I'm my own boss. But guess what? You know what that means? I don't work 40 hours a week. I work 60 to 80 hours a week. I don't get paid any extra for working any overtime. Okay. There's no overtime. It's all time. So
it's all overtime, really. Is what it is.
Right, it's all overtime. So a lot of people are like, I'll be my own boss like this. I'll go to the beach. And no. If that's why you want to be your own boss, you're never going to be successful. Okay. When you're your own boss, you got to work twice as hard because now it's all relying on you. And, like I said, don't let anything stop you. Creating a YouTube, I tell everyone all the time, create a YouTube channel. Just do it. If you got something to share or you want to do or you're passionate about, go ahead and do it. The one guy, he started a YouTube channel. It's just about playing the trumpet. And he has tutorial classes that people can purchase through his YouTube thing to learn how to play the trumpet and all this other stuff. And he's only got 5,000 some subscribers. Anything else, he's been doing it for years. I mean, and he, but he loves what he's doing. He has that passion. You might have a passion of crocheting. You might have a passion of Hot Wheels. You might have a passion of cooking. You might have a passion of books. You can read books and just give your opinion on the books. Whatever. There's a million things to do. Like I said, I met so many people. Like the one girl, she just takes an ice bath because of the good properties it's supposed to do and the health properties, all this other stuff. But that's what she started a YouTube channel, taking ice baths. Okay. The one lady, she started a YouTube channel because she was doing her girl's hair in the morning. And now she's in every Walmart store with over 100 products. Every Walmart with over 100 products. Did you hear that? Because she started a YouTube channel doing her girl's hair in the morning.
Are these hair products or
hair products, Conky, accessories? She started with 10 products in a Walmart, over 100 products now.
Wow.
Okay. This lady, you should have seen all the stuff this lady is doing. But she was a stay-at-home mom doing her kid's hair. She said, I'm going to make videos of doing this hair. And it caught on and people liked it. And it grew into this massive empire. Okay. So that's what I'm telling you. Just go ahead. Do it. Don't let anything stop you. The only thing stopping yourself, like the guy said today, this guy's a billionaire. First thing he said, the only effing thing stopping you is you, effer. That's what he said. Okay. This guy's a multi-billionaire. He's cussing like a sailor. But he's trying to get his point across. And people listen because he's cussing and he got everyone's attention. But he's trying to tell you.
What was his name?
I'm pulling it right now for you. This guy's an interesting guy. But that comes down to the whole thing. It's the problem. There he is. Tom Boulay.
Okay.
Sorry, there you go.
For a second, I thought you were talking about somebody else.
So he's got like 3 million subscribers, but like I said, he started these businesses. He sold his one business for over $1 billion. Okay. But he's sitting there telling how many times he failed in his life, how many times people told him that it's not going to work. And he just kept doing it. You know, sometimes you beat your head against a wall enough times, the wall might collapse.
You know what's personally entertaining for me?
What's that, sir?
Is when I tell somebody that I'm going to do something, and it's something that I already done, but when I'm telling them, I frame it as something that I'm planning on doing.
Like jumping out of an airplane.
Yeah, something like that. And when they proceed to tell me it's something I can't do, I just sit there and I'm usually biting the inside of my lip trying to keep from laughing at them. But if you guys ever want to have fun, think of something that you've done that's difficult, that people think that you can't do, and tell somebody that you're going to do it as if you haven't done it yet, and let them tell you you can't. And see how long you can keep a straight face before you laugh in their face and tell them you've already done it.
And my whole life, people said, you can't do this, you can't do that. And once you say you can't, you're absolutely right. That was an old saying that someone, I can't remember who told me that, but they said, Rob, once you say you can't, you're absolutely right. But until that point, you can. And it's so easy, you know. I mean, I don't know. I've seen so many successful people in my life. I've met people. One example, the guy had, he was healthy wife and kids, everything else. Comes down with a medical thing. I'm not going to get into all that, but long story short, he's partially paralyzed, wheelchair, the rest of his life. Like that. Okay? Life turned upside down. Those instances is where, you know, he had every right to give up on life. But instead, he created a whole new business and all this other stuff. Another example, my one buddy, union steel worker. Not steel worker, iron worker. He's the guy that welds all the beams together, puts the big, huge beams to make skyscrapers. Okay? He fell over 40 feet working on a skyscraper downtown. The only thing that saved his life, he hit another beam, and it flipped him. They said if he didn't hit that beam, he probably would have been dead. Long story short, multiple heart attacks because of fall. Internal injuries, horrible. Everyone thought he was going to die. Okay? He didn't die. He worked for a union. Union comes to him and said, listen, you got two choices. We can pay you this the rest of your life and be on disability, or you can hang out with Andrew Alvarez. Those are your two choices.
What's up?
What's up? No, they said you could either go to school, we'll pay for your schooling, or give you money for the rest of your life. He went to school, became an accountant. So he didn't give up. And my whole point is that there's people that have horrible things they don't give up. Andrew hasn't given up. Are you in the plane, dude?
Yeah,
Taking off or landing?
I'm landing.
How's the flight?
It's all right. I mean, I don't know. I'm at the aisle seat. It's not too bad. I don't
We're
know.
just talking about how easy it is that people quit, and people want to start YouTube channels. They're a little nervous or wary about it, and I'm telling them, just do it. What are you telling Guapo?
Well, I would say that it is a very, very, very competitive field to be in right now. But I gotta say, with the statistics that we learned in the convention these past 3 days, like anybody could do it. You know, there was the one speaker that talked about how we're not really competing with much when you talk about the analytics of like how many people are as successful as we personally are, just in terms of like me and you, Rob. But yeah, no, I mean, when you talk about like the actual statistics of how many people are actually like making it and like who you're really competing against in terms of like your niche, it's very small. And when you put it all to perspective, it's somewhat encouraging for any new YouTubers or anybody that's new to the field, because at any time you can blow up, at any time you can find your niche, at any time you can find what works for you. And then before you know it, you have residual income for the rest of your life. So
It's one of those things. A lot of people think I'm going to start a YouTube channel and become the next Jeremy Hales. Okay, it's not that easy. And most people that have successful channels have been on YouTube for many, many years.
Yep. Yeah,
Very few
seriously.
have been on YouTube for a year. Okay, there's a few. Don't get me wrong. There's always those few people, but the majority of people.
They said, I know I'm gonna bomb this, but they said comparison is the killer of joy, maybe, or something like that, something similar to that. And then, like, yeah, it's like when you're the only person you should be competing with, frankly, is yourself. You should just be competing with yourself every day, trying to better yourself. So when you talk about like people that want to be Jeremy Hales or people that want to be like Mr. Beast, you're just not. That's just not you. I mean, you're you. Mr. Beast is Mr. Beast, and it's important to stay with that mindset. Because, like you said, you compare. You want to be somebody else. What is success? I mean, success to you is different than success to me. We have different opinions on success. So, you know, there's levels.
Work, and that's what it is. It's work.
Mm-hmm.
YouTube's work. And there's a lot of things everyone will tell you. Any YouTube creator out there will tell you, I hate editing or I hate this.
Mm-hmm. It's very consistent, man. Like what we've seen these past 3 days, they're all like have like their own different niches and what they're good at. But for the most part, a lot of what they said was real consistent. They just said it a different way.
Being consistent was one of the consistent things they talked about.
Exactly. And they were talking about how the platform is completely filled with inconsistent, content creators, which I'm a perfect example of. Obviously we talk about how, time management's big and how we're all human and stuff, but I'm a perfect example of that, man. You're supposed to put a video out every day, man, if you want to be successful. That's what Jeremy always said. So those are important things to consider. Dude, how about AI? Oh my God, dude. AI is taking over the whole process of making a video. It's pretty much going to be all AI here soon.
Yeah, there's a lot going on with the AI. Well, I can't touch on all that right now, but there's craziness.
Yeah, dude. I could touch on it really quick, but there's programs me and Rob learned that take the prime, most viral parts of your video and make shorts with them. There's AI that's creating B-roll for you. There's AI that's generating titles and thumbnails for you. Not necessarily thumbnails. I didn't see too much thumbnails, but titles. There's AI that you can upload 6 to 7 different thumbnails, and it'll tell you which one is the most likely to go viral. And yeah, I mean, dude, everything I just mentioned is pretty much the whole entire process of making a video. So, if everybody is familiar with these programs, they're really not going to have to put, nearly as much effort as what the traditional, YouTuber would put in 10 years ago. So.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely, the world's changing, as we all know.
Captain speaking.
Oh, Captain speaking. Captain! But on that note, we're gonna end the thing. We do really appreciate everyone checking us out. Like I said, right now with the cop update, I've got the lawyer involved. We'll see where that goes. I'll give you guys another update. I'll be coming out with the video maybe tomorrow. I'm gonna try to work on the video. I'll be coming out with a video tomorrow about the conference, and some of the fun that we had. And I mean, Guapo and I, we had a good time. We learned a lot. We've seen a lot. If I come back again, I would try to spend more time just networking with people. There's so many unbelievable creators, and it's like, you walk up to someone like, hey, how you doing? What kind of channel you got? And then they tell you, and it's just like, I mean, we met one guy. He's super tall, and he just goes into super small places.
And he literally has 6 million subscribers. 5 million subscribers.
Yeah, 5 million some subscribers.
Which is a huge channel, guys. That's a big deal. I mean, there's not really many channels that are that big. So yeah, for him to just come up to us and just be like, yo, what's up with you? That's just, it's just different. It's a different vibe. Plus, on top of that, Rob, this is our first one. So it's not like we were used to the process at all. We understand what it is now. I mean,
Yes.
you barely needed a ticket to get in. Like,
Well,
you
I can
know,
tell.
yeah, it's just ridiculous. You know, it really is. But for the most part, we know what to expect, and we know, you know, I'll probably go next year. I'm not sure. I mean, it depends on how, you know, how serious am I taking YouTube this next year? That's just the real question. Um, because yeah, there's no other place in the world and no other event in the world that's going to have you surrounded by that many content creators and that many people that are actually successful at what they're doing. You get a lot of YouTubers out there, but as far as like success goes, as far as like the channel growth and the consistency, things like that, it's real hard to find those people, especially in our area and stuff. So, you know, would you go again?
That's a good question. I was more hyped to go until the ending, which I'll talk to you about later, Guapo.
Yeah.
But I know I kept everyone super late. I'm an hour behind because I'm in Texas.
Oh yeah. What is it? It's like what? Oh, it's 11:55 right now, huh?
Yeah, it's almost midnight. So I know Conky's getting tired. Everyone's getting tired. I appreciate everyone that stayed this long with us, but we got to do our prayer. I guess I'll lead us in prayer. And Lord, first, thank you for giving us this awesome community, this awesome friendship that I had with these four gentlemen, or these three gentlemen and myself, I should say, us four. Just the opportunities you've given me in my life. One door closes, another one opens, and you've given me the confidence to go through those doors, and that's the key of life. I appreciate, Lord, that everything you've given upon me. We have some special intentions out there. One of our subscribers lost her job. Let her see that this is the best possible thing that could happen. Like I lost my job and it brought me to where I am today. And if I never lost that job, I would never have been motivated to get to where I am today. So Lord, once again, anybody that has any special intentions that's watching, anyone that has any special intentions, their family members or friends or anything else that they need a little bit extra help, Lord, please answer those prayers. Thank you for all you've done. Amen.
Amen.
Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Thank you guys. I do appreciate everybody out there. Andrew and I had a great time. There'll be some videos coming out. I did my little short today. If you guys can see the monkey Bronco or bull, check it out.
Yeah. Very short-lived.
You're probably gonna be doing an auction tomorrow or something, Guapo?
Something, yeah. I'm gonna get active this week somehow, either on Whatnot or my channel. Yeah, short-lived time, but you know, it's still some time away from like home. Like we still definitely, you know, took some serious time off, so we want to get back at it for sure.
So don't forget, guys, Guapo usually Tuesdays he has his auction. Conky has his auction Saturday, 8 o'clock. Guapo's is at 8 o'clock on Tuesdays. My auction, I have auction closing Wednesday. It is the Breyer horse auction. So the Breyer horses, if you guys are into Breyer horses, all kind of other toys. Conky's already looking at a few toys in that auction. Do you see that Lionel train I just added? The lot 1A or something?
I don't know if I saw that or not.
1920 something, 31.
Oh, I see that. Yeah, that's kind of like the train I found in that storage unit.
Yeah, I mean that train is about a $600 train.
Yeah, that's about what I had it pegged at. What's it up to now?
I think it's at $250 right now, which is still a great deal. So, but guys, check out the videos, check out our auctions. We ship everywhere in the world, all kind of great stuff. Anything you want to say, Guapo?
No, guys, just hopefully what we learned at the event changes our channel and takes it to the next level. And hopefully, in turn, you guys are really rewarded with some awesome content. And yeah, thank you guys so much for being here and being consistent and loyal. All you legends, you guys know I love you. So that's pretty much all.
We appreciate it. And Andrew and I, we always have fun to get together. Anytime all of us get together, we all have fun. And any of us get together, we always have. We're all a little different, but we all are the same in a way.
Yeah, it was a blast, man. We got Rob on the pong table. It was amazing.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, go in this bear pong." I don't play bear pong. I said, when I was a kid, we just drank. We didn't need games.
Dude, we lost so bad, but it was so worth it.
Yeah, I'm playing these 20-some-year-old kids at bear pong with Guapo. This girl, he's like Michael Jordan. Okay, the whole game of bear pong is throwing these little ping pong balls in a cup. Okay, this girl's like, ding, ding. I mean, well, she's just. So that's the first time I ever played, and man, we got our butts kicked.
Man, she didn't miss, man. She didn't miss. It was ridiculous.
Bravo was getting so mad because he's like, because he's pretty good, but
because I don't take L's in that game, man. I graduated from BG. That's like a serious challenge, man. We don't play around.
Well, you got schooled, buddy.
No, we didn't get schooled, man. It's all good. It was a practice game, man. It doesn't count.
So, but we had a good time, and you're going to see a lot of content coming out.
Yeah, short-lived, man. But it was a production. It was a production trip, and again, like I didn't know. We didn't really talk about this, but really quick, I just want to share this. There's a link that comes out, and it's a recap of all of the speakers, and we have access to that. So if we missed any speakers or any kind of sessions, we could recap those things. And I gotta say that the stuff they said, these are from the most successful YouTubers ever to be on the platform. So if we could just take a little portion of what they said and incorporate it in our channels, hopefully it does big things. So,
and that's the goal, is just to make better content for you guys. That's the whole goal.
That's it.
But we appreciate everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Check out our auctions. Check out our channels. We really appreciate it. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be here. Thank you so much. You guys have a great night.